What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me for another video. Where today we're going to talk a little bit about the draft. We are officially 2 weeks away from draft time, and want to go ahead talk a little more about it. There's a player that Colts Nation's been talking about a lot. Somebody that's been coming up a lot that we've talked about. Hey, maybe we trade back and get this guy. But after his pro day and everything that he can do, everything that he brings on the field, there's definitely a chance the Colts stay at 15 and take him anyway. We're talking about Cooper DeJean, who had his pro day, his basically individual pro day over there at Iowa, coming off of the injury. He let everybody know just a couple weeks ago that he was fully cleared to go. He's cleared for all football activity. So he went, had his pro day, had some scouts go there, watch him, see what was going on. And for Cooper DeJean, like the reason I say there's a possibility that the Colts take him at 15 is both because of the need and because of everything that he is, right? You look at physically, like he's a guy that Chris Ballard would want, right? Arm length 31.125, his height 6 foot, weight 203, right? 6 foot 203. He's a guy that's built. His 40-yard dash was 4.43, which sure it's not top end, it's not a 4.3 or 4.35, anything like that, but 4.43, still moving. His vertical jump 38 and a half. And the reason that I think that he would be kind of perfect for what the Colts need is because when you look at the Colts, like we think they need some secondary help in terms of cornerbacks, which is what he's been playing. We also need help with safeties. And this is a guy that could definitely get switched up, right? Somebody that can fill a need for the Colts in two different spots, the kind of versatility that he can bring, everything that he brings on the field, right? Kind of looking at his college stats and looking what he did on defense. So even before college, you think about before college, he played basketball in high school also. He was an explosive athlete. When you go look at some of the highlights of him playing basketball, he was able to dunk at a young age. Again, the explosiveness, the raw athleticism that Cooper DeJean has is great. So multi-sport athlete, you love to see that kind of thing, but also in college. When you look at his sophomore year where he played 13 games, he ended up having 75 total tackles that season. He also ended up with 5 interceptions and 8 passes defended. So just as a sophomore in college, this is a guy that was getting his hands on the ball all the time. Okay, and Iowa had one of the best defenses in the nation for a couple of years, for the years that he was there, and he was a part of that because he was so shut down in that secondary, right? Then you look at his senior year where he doesn't play every game. He ends up being hurt for a little bit, but he still ends up with 41 tackles, has 2 interceptions, 5 passes defended, and all that. Like you look at a guy that can get his hands on the ball, has the athleticism, can play any spot on that defensive secondary, right? Can get coached, right? This is a guy that you would think is coachable, that people are saying is very coachable and would be able to make that transition athletically. It would make sense. And everything that he brings, with as smart as he is, I think it's important to note that when he was in high school, he was a quarterback and he ended up getting switched to cornerback by the coaches there at Iowa, but coming out playing quarterback. So he has the mind of a quarterback, understands how to read a defense, right? Could understand, right? You switch that, knows how to read the offense and have the smarts to be able to go at the game in a cerebral kind of way. So I think everything that Cooper DeJean is, right? Everything that he brings to the table, I just think it all makes sense, right? This is a guy that the Colts should seriously be looking into and be looking at drafting, even if it is at that number, right? You go to number 15, okay? What if we get to a situation where Kenyon Mitchell is gone, Terrion Arnold is gone, Brock Bowers is gone, the top three receivers are gone. What if Brian Thomas is gone? Okay, then that kind of becomes a question: is who would the Colts take at 15? And there are definitely options, right? It would depend who's been taken and who's still available, right? Is Byron Murphy going to be available? Is Dallas Turner going to be available? Is Brian Thomas Jr. going to be available? Like there are other guys that you could think of for the Colts, right? And a guy that's been getting a lot of push lately is Latu, and a lot of people thinking that there's a possibility of the Colts taking him, right? There's some obvious injury risk with that pick, but there's also a lot of really good talent with that one. A lot of people are thinking that the talent is going to overweigh the injury issues with Latu. So there's a possibility Colts take him at 15. So a lot of questions there, but Cooper DeJean for me is just making more and more sense the more I think about it, especially with him being healthy, right? Coming back early, presumably from the injury, and being able to have this workout, be able to get in front of some scouts. I think there's a real possibility that Cooper DeJean could end up going 15 to the Colts. And, I'd be fine with that. I think this is going to be a really good player. I think one way or another, where whatever he's doing, whatever position he plays, wherever he goes, I think Cooper DeJean is going to be really good in the NFL. So if he ends up on the Colts, I'm cool with that. Still expect us to get a veteran of some sort, which is why I think Cooper DeJean makes sense, right? Get a guy that plays corner, but can play safety if you need to, but then go get a safety, a veteran safety, right? Quandre Diggs or Justin Simmons, one of these guys. Bring one of those guys in. Draft Cooper DeJean. Your secondary is more solidified going into the year. Cooper DeJean, again, should be really good. I have faith in Juju Brents, Jalen Jones, and Dallas Flowers. And then the safeties, we have Julian Blackman, Nick Cross, bring in a veteran. And I think we'd be set in the secondary. I think all of a sudden defense looks really good. Need the pass rush to be better. We hope that stays up. Dio Dingbo should have a big season. Maybe we'll talk about that soon. But again, I like Cooper DeJean at 15 to the Colts. I'd like to know what you think about Cooper DeJean at 15 to the Colts. You let me know down in the comments section. Of course, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you get notified anytime any of these videos do come out. I appreciate you stopping by for another video. As always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.